It's funny that I was going to write about. That was my other topic I almost wrote about today, were these Washington Post layoffs and exactly what you just asked about. But I just thought starting like with an article about how much corporate media sucks would be just a little too like predictable and self-serving. So I'll probably write that tomorrow or Wednesday, but or whatever today is, tomorrow or Friday. But these layoff rituals, which we've seen so many times, and the Washington Post one was, by far the most traumatic for people because of its size, because of what it meant for the Washington Post, this like beloved institution, at least among media professionals, or at least among some. It's what always happens is you have this kind of personal trauma, which is very real. I mean, people lose their jobs that they've had for a long time. That is upsetting. I totally understand that. No minimizing that at all. And then it's usually followed by this very self-important, unified decree that one of the reasons it's so terrible when journalists get laid off is because these journalists in corporate media are performing such a vital, crucial, essential role that when they lose their jobs, it's not just bad for them, but bad for democracy, bad for America, bad for the world. And then they get simultaneously very angry about the fact that there have been layoffs, as though their work is so noble and so uniquely valuable that they should be divinely entitled to have a job for forever. And the reality is that it's not just that a lot of these outlets are failing because people have moved away, although that is definitely the case. Even more damagingly is the fact that the public has just lost faith and trust in these media institutions. Every poll shows that, and it gets more and more severe as each year goes by. The public just doesn't trust large media outlets or media brands any longer. They believe, in fact, that not only is it unreliable, but that they're purposely, whether this is true or not, this is absolutely what most Americans believe, that they're purposely disseminating false claims or misleading claims or being deceitful in order to advance some sort of political or partisan or ideological agenda. And once people perceive that about you, that is just a completely insurmountable problem unless you reverse it. And what amazes me about these layoff rituals is that there's never a moment, and this is true going back years, where most of these journalists will stop in a minute and look in the mirror and say, why is this happening? Why is our industry collapsing? Why has public faith and trust in our institutions evaporated and so rapidly unraveled?